Most people think of big cities and instantly imagine high prices, endless bills, and tiny apartments. But some capitals around the world are completely flipping that idea. They're not cheap because they lack quality. They're affordable because of currency shifts, smart infrastructure, and a slower cost of living growth compared to Western countries. And you don't need to live in the jungle or a remote village to find value. You can still get fast internet, proper healthcare, and enough cafe options to fuel your espresso habit. These 10 places offer the food, transport, and culture of a major city, but without burning through your bank account. City 1. Let's start with Buenos Aires in Argentina. This city looks like Europe and lives like Latin America. The architecture is grand, the art scene is non-stop, and the prices make your wallet smile. Inflation has crushed the Argentine peso, which sounds bad, but for expats earning dollars or euros, it actually means lower living costs. A good studio apartment in a decent neighborhood might cost between $500 and $700 per month. A steak dinner, the kind locals would brag about, is around $12. It's not hard to live on under $1,000 a month if you keep things simple. Many expats say they get by on even less. Argentina also offers a residency visa for retirees that lasts 2 years if you can show proof of a stable pension. The healthcare is a mix of public and private, with public hospitals offering free care and private clinics still being affordable for most foreigners. City 2. Next is Istanbul, where Europe and Asia meet across the Bosphorus. This city has ancient mosques, wild bazaars, modern malls, and an unbeatable ferry ride that's part of public transport. The cost of living is surprisingly low. A one-bedroom apartment in a nice area of the city might cost anywhere from $600 to $1,000. You can get around the city by metro, tram, or ferry for next to nothing. Food is cheap and fresh, especially if you buy from local markets. And because the Turkish lira has lost so much value in recent years, anyone earning in foreign currency gets much more for their money. Most people can stay with an e-visa or apply for longer-term residence. Digital nomads are slowly waking up to Istanbul, and you'll find more co-working cafes popping up each year. City 3. Warsaw in Poland feels surprisingly modern and very walkable. Public transport works well, the streets are clean, and there's a steady mix of old and new. While it's not the cheapest on this list, Warsaw is still far more affordable than cities like Berlin, Paris, or Amsterdam. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center is usually around $1,000. Many single expats say they spend around $1,800 to $2,200 a month, including rent, utilities, and food. The city also has fast internet, solid healthcare, and enough pierogi to last you a lifetime. City 4. Not a lot of people think about moving to Bucharest, but Romania's capital is one of the most underrated cities in Europe. It feels like a mix between old Eastern Europe and something much more modern. You can rent a decent one-bedroom apartment for around $650 a month. The rest of your monthly costs are low too. The government recently launched a digital nomad visa that gives 1-year residency. And there's a 10% flat tax on income, which is much lower than most EU countries. You also get access to the European Union's healthcare system and excellent internet speeds. Bucharest has become a bit of a secret hub for remote workers, and you'll notice more and more people setting up laptops in quiet cafes with strong coffee. City 5. Mexico City is fast-paced, colorful, and full of life. It mixes old history with modern business, and the food might ruin your taste buds for anything else. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in a good area like Condesa or Roma usually falls between $500 and $800. A full meal can cost as little as $5 to $10. A monthly budget of around $1,300 is doable for most single expats. Public transport is cheap, and internet is widely available. Mexico has multiple visa options, including a retiree visa with fairly low income requirements. It also offers temporary residency for digital nomads and entrepreneurs. Many foreigners choose to stay long-term because of the community, weather, and, of course, the tacos. City 6. Tbilisi in Georgia might surprise you. It's beautiful, it's old, and it feels strangely futuristic in parts. You can rent a small apartment in the city center for around $700. Total monthly costs often land between $1,000 and $1,500 for solo expats. One of the biggest benefits is Georgia's visa system. Citizens from many countries can stay up to 1 year without needing a special visa. And if you want to stay longer, there's a work permit and a tax-friendly freelancer status with just 1% tax on the first $155,000 earned annually. The food is heavy, the wine is cheap, and the mountains are never far away. City 7. Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam is another great option. This city is buzzing with scooters, street food, and young energy. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center starts at around $500, and a full monthly budget often stays under $1,000, even with a few nights out. Internet speeds are fast, around 160 megabits per second on average. Healthcare is surprisingly good if you stick to the private hospitals, which are still very affordable. There's a strong digital nomad community, especially in District 2, where you'll find plenty of co-working spaces and foreign-friendly cafes. Vietnam has started offering electronic visas for short stays, and there are multiple business visa options for people planning to stay longer. City 8, Cairo, Egypt, might not be everyone's first idea of a digital nomad city, but the cost of living here is extremely low. Some estimates show monthly costs without rent around $350. Even adding rent, you're still often under $1,000 per month. A 3-bedroom apartment in the city center might cost $500 or less. Food is incredibly cheap, especially local dishes like falafel, kosheri, and grilled meats. Public transport exists, but takes some getting used to. So many people use ride-hailing apps like Uber. Egypt allows tourist visas and retiree visas for people over 60. Healthcare is basic in public hospitals, but there are private options in the city that offer much better care for reasonable prices. Cairo is loud and crowded, but it's full of life and surprisingly affordable for a capital city. City 9. Belgrade in Serbia is a small capital with a big personality. It's known for its nightlife, but also for being one of Europe's most relaxed and affordable capitals. A single person's cost of living without rent is around $800. A nice one-bedroom apartment in the city center rents for about $880. Serbia is not in the EU, which makes visas easier to manage for people coming from outside Europe. They've introduced a remote worker visa that allows you to stay for up to 1 year, and it's extendable. Fast internet is standard, and the locals are pretty friendly, especially if you learn a few Serbian words. The cafes are cozy, the parks are green, and there's a surprising amount of charm in the old streets. City 10, Johannesburg, in South Africa has had a bad reputation in the media, but many expats find it safe, modern, and full of opportunity. Monthly expenses, excluding rent, are about $700. A decent rental in a safe neighborhood costs around $450, putting the total monthly cost under $1,200. You can get private health insurance for far less than in most Western countries. The food scene is strong, with everything from steakhouses to vegan brunch spots. The city also has a rising startup and tech scene, and you're never far from nature with game reserves and hiking trails just outside the metro. For remote workers and retirees looking for low living costs and mild weather, Johannesburg is worth a second look. These 10 cities prove you don't have to give up city life to save money. You just have to know where to look. Living well doesn't have to cost a fortune if you're willing to think outside the usual places. Which of these places would you consider moving to? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.